wants more. We want more money. We want more houses. We want more drinks. We want more. We want more. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to want a lot more from this guy once you get to know him. I bring you the one, the incomparable, the talented Larry Moore!
It's a little over the top.
How you doing, Larry?
Doing good, buddy.
Man, it's good to, man, we did not know each other before this weekend. I just met you yesterday. I am so glad we ran into each other. You're off the hook talented. So, but we're gonna get into all that. You know, we'll have all that stuff. But I started the same place with everybody. Rick Fairless, you, all the big time builders. I started in the same place because people want to know, how did you fall in love with motorcycles?
Well, when I was a kid, you know, couldn't drive a car, so I had a little dirt bike and just kept riding bikes all my life.
Just kept riding, huh? How old were you when you got on your first dirt bike?
I got a mini bike when I was about the 3rd grade and drove it right to the back of the house.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's funny. First mini bike I got on, I think I was 6, and I hit the throttle. You know, it was automatic. You know, obviously no shifting. So I got scared because it went so fast, and I forgot that I could do. I didn't know to do that. And I ended up sliding into a 4-lane highway and on my side. That was and I was a fat kid. That was not an attractive scene at all. But mini bikes, so many of us got our start on mini bikes. But now, were your parents then obviously encouraged you? They didn't mind you riding, huh?
They did until I got my driver's license, and they would have no part of a street bike.
Nothing about that.
No street bike.
How long did you have to wait to get a street bike?
The minute I moved out.
18?
18.
18,
Yep.
There you go. That was me too, man. There was no bikes in the house in my life until 18. So, first bike, what was it?
First street bike?
Yeah.
SX 650, is that right?
SX 650, yeah.
650, yep.
All right. And of course, it was completely stock, and you left it that way because that's the way you wanted it.
That's all I knew. Well,
that's what you knew.
Well, I sold it pretty quick and bought me a 49 EL.
Oh my God!
My first panhead.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So I didn't have it long.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad somebody else has a similar version of that because my first bike, my dad said if I wanted a bike, I had to build it myself. And so when I was 16, I ended up building a panhead out of spare parts. I didn't know anything about building anything, but I ended up getting that. But they were not happy, and so once I got it built, they said, okay, but you can't ride it. And so I would have to wait for them to go to work, and then I would take off on it. And I took off and rode it to Sturgis because they wouldn't let me ride it around town. So I just took off and rode to Sturgis from North Carolina one year, and that was 1985. Now, you had that, so you got your second bike is an EL.
It was an EL.
Oh man, because a lot of people are like, why didn't you keep it? And well, mine was a turd. You know, I mean, it was hard to ride, and it was my only transportation for a long time. So you got what year EL?
49.
49 EL.
First year for the Hydroglide.
Now, was it all together and ready to go?
It was a basket case.
Oh man.
Basket case, and put it together, and then a guy made me an offer, and I sold it.
Oh wow. Now. So you never put it together?
No, I put it together.
Oh, you did put it together.
As soon as I got it together.
How did you learn? How did you get into mechanicking? What was that about?
Well, I've always worked on cars.
Okay, so it was just, you never went to school or anything?
No, my father built street rods and customs, so I was around it.
It was in your blood?
Oh, yeah.
Good tools already around?
Yeah, I could use my dad's tools. So
yeah,
I had
that's
stuff
cool.
to work with.
So, now, did he take time and kind of teach you? Or?
He taught us a lot. He didn't know much about motorcycles. He didn't like them much.
Yeah,
you know?
but cars, so, and that,
cars,
a lot of it
same
translates.
thing.
I mean, you know, a good bit translates. Did you, first job, you know, what did you do? I mean, you built that bike. Did you immediately open up a motorcycle shop?
Oh, no. I worked construction all my life.
Construction?
I was a crane operator for 36 years.
Crane operator, man. So same company for 36 years?
Yep.
Right here in Dallas?
No.
Where?
Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas, okay. And is that still where you are?
Yes.
You're out of Wichita,
Out of
okay.
Wichita.
And the name of your shop is clever. I don't know how you came up. What's the name of your shop?
More customs?
More customs,
Yeah,
yeah. So
it's original.
It's very original,
Yeah.
very original.
Very few people name Moore.
Yeah, so that's great. And your name could have been Dudley. That would have been clever.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
But more customs. So 39 years as a crane operator.
36.
36. Now you're building bikes all along that time?
I've been building bikes for about the last 12 years.
12 years.
Before that, I built cars, and first bike built for fun, took it to a show and did well. And I thought, well, let's build another one. Well, then it gets harder as you go, because if you're building for competition, you're wanting to step it up each build, step it up a little bit more. And here in the last few years, we've been getting better and better.
Yeah. Now, were you? It's kind of. I mean, I still am kind of in this place. I build a bike to sell the bike, so I can have enough money to build the bike, so that and then I sell the bike so I can build another bike.
Yeah.
So was that your kind of what you were doing?
The first couple I sold, and then I started building bikes that were so far out that you're not just going to ride them to your local bike night, and
right.
So they started getting less practical and more custom, and then I kind of got attached to them. So I just been hanging on to them.
So now you're a collector.
Yeah, I will sell it though.
You will sell it.
I will sell it.
Everything's for sale for a price.
Yes.
So you better watch out. He's married to a beautiful woman, so you better don't sit still long. And whoop, you're gone. So now this bike that you have with us here today, it is right here, between if you just walk between J&P and the Yamaha. What do they call it? Watercraft is what they're referring to those things. I don't do anything on water. I don't like sharks or snakes. But your bike's right there. Tell me a little bit about that bike. I mean, where did the vision come for that bike? When did that bike start? That kind of stuff.
Well, I'd always wanted to build a bike from the ground up, every aspect of it. And in 2012, we did well in the World Championship. They put us on Team USA to go to Germany to compete for the World Championship. Well, at that level, you don't just open up the catalog and buy parts.
Right.
You're going up against people that are building them from the ground level. and so I always wanted to do a little speedster bike, so I just sat down with a piece of paper and drew it out and started bending tube and welding parts.
I hang out here at the stage obviously all day because it's my job, and I see people that are just cruising around the show, and I mean, I got such like a bromance going on here with this guy with that bike. I see people just walking by looking at it, and they're gonna walk by, and I'm like, whoa. Walk around to the other side. Did you see that? I stop them and I'm telling them about it. I should get the Show Dog Award for that bike. But there's so much going on. It's the main component is a 74-inch shovel head motor.
74-inch shovel.
And what have you done to that motor to kind of make it unique?
Oh, it's basically stock, but it's got a nice cam. All the innards are new. Split the rocker boxes, put exterior rocker box lines on it, oil lines for the rocker shafts. It's got dual Morse magnetos, dual electron carburetors on a custom manifold. All the fasteners have been touched on here and there, so it's
the oil lines coming off though. You made a manifold basically to run the 4 oil lines into, and then they run back up. They kind of run through that manifold. And I think yesterday you used the word describing it. It looks like a schematic that way. So it really gives it a unique look.
It gives you a chance to show off your hard line ability.
Hard line bending skills.
Yeah,
that's right, man. I tell you what, that's no joke. Because if anybody's ever tried to make 2 brake lines look identical, man, that is not easy to do.
It's not easy.
So you've done that. It's 74-inch shovel head, split rocker boxes, nice cams, all clean internals. And then you've got it mated to what kind of transmission?
It's a 4-speed, early 4-speed transmission with a Baker end drum.
Okay.
So you shift all one direction, hit neutral. There's no finding neutral. Since it's a hand shift and a foot clutch, it's
much easier.
It takes the panic out of an intersection.
Yeah. I remember on that first bike I built, my panhead, it was, I had to advance the timing with the left hand, while fluttering it, because the damn thing had never run. I was having to give it gas, and of course it had that mousetrap clutch on it, which was broken, so it was just all you could do is push on it. You had to hold it. Drum brakes. That sucker would stall on a hill at a stoplight, and man, that's all I could do. I'd have to basically turn it around and roll it back down the hill to get it started. My buddies asked me why I sold it. Oh, when that thing is stalled on a hill in the rain,
Things get exciting.
or I couldn't think of enough curse words to say. I was creating new ones. So, but you've got now on the end of that, so that not being able to find neutral is very handy. Now, it's kick only, of course, and you've got, what kind of brake system are you running on that?
Well, that's a tranny brake that runs off the sprocket. I've never seen one on a 4-speed. The right side drive bikes, the big tire bikes, when that was a huge craze, you know, they always run their, you've seen some bikes that had a tranny brake, but I've never seen one on a 4-speed, and after building it, I know why.
It's a pain.
It's tough to get
You obviously
in.
had to fabricate everything in order to make that happen.
build every piece of it.
Now, that tranny brake came off a go-kart.
Yeah, the caliper itself and the master cylinder came off a competition racing go-kart.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is so ingenious. Now, one thing that got me looking at the bike wasn't the oil lines. I got a shop, and so when I look at something, I look at weird stuff. And I was looking, I was like, how do you put the air in the tires? And I was looking and looking and looking, and I said, man, the only way he could have done that is to have put it in the hub. Tell me about your wheels on that bike.
Well, the wheels, I wanted to look like a salt flask wheel. We had the wheel all cut, and the guy that did the wheels for me, he wanted to know where I want to put the valve stem. And I'm like, well, I don't want to cut an abbreviation in the wheel because it looks so clean. And so we decided we'd drill through the spoke. Well, after about 5 different stops, we found somebody that would take a chance and drill through that spoke and put the valve stem in the hub.
That's incredible. If you can imagine this, they're 5-spoke wheels.
Yeah.
5-spoke, salt flat kind of wheels style. And so they're not that wide, though. How wide are those spokes?
The parent metal was 3/4 of an inch wide.
3/4 of an inch. So you drilled what's the diameter of the
3/16.
3/16 up through there. How did you get it not to come out the side?
That's what they were worried about. We did it in a horizontal CNC. They started out with a real short bit, and then we just went in 1-inch increments, changing the bit so you're not using a real long bit to start with. You're just taking it an inch at a time.
Oh.
And then the last 1.25 inches we had to hand drill.
Hand drill.
We didn't have the bit long enough.
Man, that is just incredible.
Yep.
It's so sick. It doesn't have a front brake.
No front brake.
Front brake. And what else is there about that bike what is it that you really like? When you think about that bike, what is it about that bike that you like the most?
That it's done.
It's done. How many hours?
Oh, in excess of 1,000.
Over 1,000 hours in that bike. 2 years working on it?
Yep.
So it's been 2 years.
The design started 2 years ago.
Oh my God. Now, are you one of those guys that like Chip Foose, he draws out cars for it?
I'm not much of an artist, but I did draw the bike to full scale and then use that as a reference to
Did
build
you?
it.
So you, like on butcher paper or something?
Yep.
You just sketched out the bike?
Built a 4x8 easel and drew the bike in full scale.
Man, that's cool. Do you still have the drawing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Now, that bike you're selling for $9,000.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants it.
And 2 Wheaties box tops.
Now, you told me yesterday you're gonna show that bike all year.
Got some select shows we're going to hit.
Select shows. What shows are you hitting with that bike?
We're going to do the Easy Rider Invitational. We're going to do the Donnie Smith Pro Invitational. And then I got wind of some shows while I was here that we're going to pencil in.
Okay.
We're going to Daytona Beach and try to hit the boardwalk and the major shows.
All right. You'll do Rat's Hole? Will you do
Probably do Rat's
Hole,
yeah.
Man, he'd love that bike down there. That's really nice. Now, everything on that bike then, you made in your shop, with the exception of the wheels, because you didn't have a CNC machine.
Yeah.
What era tools did you use?
Well, I've got a 1960 South Bend lathe, and I've got just a jet bandsaw, a Miller Synchrowave TIG machine, just your basic hand tools.
Oh, you got a TIG welder?
I do have a TIG welder.
Because you're not a good MIG welder, is that what it is? That's what I always say. I don't TIG weld.
Yeah.
I'm a grinder.
Yeah.
I grind the hell
You're a
out of
good
one.
grinder.
Well, I'm a great grinder. So, but tools that anybody can get.
Yeah.
Tools that anybody can get their hands on. So if you just go get the tools, you should be able to build that bike. I mean, there isn't any.
Oh, yeah. I've even got an OCC bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, the little triangle bits
Yeah.
you see on OCC?
OCC, yeah, that's right. So you
They don't have any drill bits. They just use that one.
They just use that. They got one drill bit, yep.
Yeah.
And
One size fits all.
one size fits all. So now what's your next big plan, Larry? What are you doing next? You got this bike done. You're going to show it this year. What's next for you?
Well, I've got a couple of things in mind. I've got a 32 Ford street rod chassis. I'd like to maybe build a matching car for my bike.
All right.
But I've also got a 20 over Mondo Springer that's kind of asking me to do some old school chopper with.
Oh, man, okay.
So-
So we can expect to see you back here next year with something new, maybe?
I say that I'm going to take a break, but I probably won't.
Probably won't. Probably won't. You're doing this full time now then.
Yeah.
You're no longer sitting in a crane moving heavy things. And how long has your shop been open now?
Well, I work out of my shop at my house, so it's open whenever me and the dog go out.
Open whenever you go out.
Yeah.
You got a website?
Don't have a website, got a Facebook.
Facebook, all right.
More custom Facebook.
More customs on Facebook. That I must be getting old. I'm not very hip and cool. You don't really need a website anymore, do you?
Yeah, nobody goes
Need
to
a
it.
website? Yeah, I'm paying somebody to build me one right now.
Yeah.
I feel dumb now. I don't want to be here anymore. No, so more customs, and now if somebody calls you up, will you customize their bike? Could you take builds like that, or you just like building one off? What's your feel about that?
If somebody had a project that they were serious about and it sparked my interest, I'd work with them.
All right, but you don't have people dropping off their 1985 Yamaha for an oil change.
No, I don't.
You don't service bikes.
I don't fix flats or change oil.
You don't do.
I don't
any
even
of
do that on my own bike.
So you don't. You're not a repair shop
No.
or a service shop or anything else. You are a custom motorcycle shop. You build custom motorcycles. That's what you do at
That's
More
what we
Customs.
do. Yep.
Man, that is wonderful. And now your beautiful wife. What is her name?
It's Karen.
Karen. I've been talking to you all weekend, but I haven't met you yet. So it's and you were been married how long?
Oh, we're not married.
Oh, you're not married.
married.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey guys, they're not married. Jimmy,
Yeah.
they're not married.
Never mind.
We were wondering.
She's taken. She's taken.
We were wondering. Well, she could be taken again. I mean,
No. Fair and square.
You've
She's
already
mine.
called.
Yeah.
called.
I got dibs.
You got dibs.
I got
There you
dibs
go.
on it.
All right. So and there's no shotgun, I guess. So I
No.
guess we're all out on that. Now you're here. Now you've got one bike here.
One bike.
One bike here. Why just one bike?
Well, I didn't want to. All my bikes are freestyle, so
Oh, so you just take votes away from
yeah,
your
just
bike.
doesn't
All right.
do much good to compete against yourself.
All right, I was curious.
Well,
A lot of these guys have multiple bikes in here, and I was wondering how.
Well, my most frequent bike is a sidecar bike, and I would have had to bring the big trailer, and it's harder to get around. So
All right, what is that?
it's a custom build.
Custom build with a
Yep,
sidecar.
Sidecar. Yeah.
Have you met Larry Coleman?
No, but they thought I was Larry Coleman.
Yeah, they did. They put
They,
your name down.
they put his name on me.
But Larry Coleman, he's works for Vance and Hines. He's in the AMA Hall of Fame for sidecar racing.
Really?
And so yeah, so he'd be fascinated by that. I have to send him down here to talk to you about that. He's now building a right-hand sidecar racer right now. He's getting his fiberglass back from Germany here in the next couple of weeks. So he said he just got the invoice for it and it nearly killed him. So that's cool. Sidecar. Now, of all the bikes that you've seen here, is there anything, obviously yours, but anything else here that you kind of looked at and was like, man, that's cool?
I like the old school chopper down there.
Right here in the end with the Magnum.
Freddie Arnold's bike.
Oh yeah.
It's just period perfect. You know?
You got that Magnum 45 in it with the 45 bottom end and the Ironhead Sportster top end. That's clever. Old racers used to use that
Yeah,
engine.
that's old school. For sure.
That's old school. Now, what number is your bike in case folks want to vote for it? 1100. That's
1100.
important for you to know, Larry.
1100.
Yeah, you
Vote for
got
1100.
It takes like 10 people to take care of you.
It does.
I
It
thought I
does.
was bad. They hired one guy just to be my keeper on this tour, but man, you got a whole tribe of people it takes. You and I had a party together,
Yeah.
man. That sounds like
Those of you at the back can't see that they've been up here making faces at me and trying to get
making
me
a
to laugh.
mess up. So,
Yeah.
well, man, it's just great to meet you. I know that I'm gonna come visit you because I got to see more of what you're doing. I got to get more. I got to get more and more. More and more. And so I've called everybody I know and told them, I said, man, I can't believe we haven't run into each other before this, but I sure am glad we ran into each other here in Dallas. So, well, man, I appreciate you giving up some time. Give Larry a big hand. Check out his stuff. More Customs on Facebook. Amazing talent. I mean, this is just an old school talent, man. Just as old school craftsmanship and work going on these bikes, man. I'm just proud of you for the work that you're doing, man. It's incredible. So thank you so much for being on the Progressive School of Rock stage, and look forward to getting to know you a lot more. The stage isn't going anywhere. We got a lot more coming up, so go grab a friend, a drink, whatever you need to grab. Some popcorn. I smell that butter, man. It's killing me. Get whatever you need. But the last thing you want to grab is a seat here at the